Hi, my name is Gevorg Grigoryan, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and an adjunct assistant professor in the Department of Biology. What my lab is interested in is understanding how proteins work. So proteins, as many of you will know, are a class of molecules that are really the primary actors in all cells, including human cells. And that includes normal behavior of cells. So when cells are doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's largely because of the proteins that are functioning correctly. As well as in disease, it's usually due to one or more proteins functioning incorrectly. So understanding how proteins work not only lets us understand sort of the biology of life, but it also sheds light onto disease processes and how to fix them, how to cure them. And what's special about proteins is that their functions are encoded in the three-dimensional molecular structure that they form. And so what my lab is interested in is understanding how this three-dimensional molecular structure actually encodes their function. And we do this by building computational models that predict at the atomic scale what the protein is going to do, how it's going to function. And that enables us to engineer novel proteins that we predict to have novel and useful functions, at which point we go over to the experimental lab, create these molecules, and then test whether those functions are in fact taking place. So this experiment and computational cycle allows us to continually improve our understanding of these molecules, improve our models, as well as create reagents that could be potentially useful in practice, both as materials as well as potential therapeutics. So definitely the most fulfilling part for me is just that aha moment where you kind of understand how something really works at the detailed level. You kind of take a peek at a natural process and you kind of gain an understanding of it. That's definitely why I do what I do, and I think that's also true for a lot of scientists. We continually sort of find new and interesting information about these molecules. A recent success I'm particularly excited about is that in collaboration with the DeGrotto lab at UCSF, we were able to engineer proteins that do something that's very strange for proteins, something that they don't really normally do in nature, and that is that they organize around carbon nanotubes in a structurally predefined manner. So carbon nanotubes are a class of molecules. It's a relatively novel class of molecules that possess many very useful functions that they're very promising for nanoscale engineering. However, one of the problems with this material is that it's difficult to work with. It's kind of hard to build out of, whereas proteins are kind of at the opposite end of that spectrum. They're very easy to assemble, to build out of. So by bringing these two fields together, nanoscale engineering and molecular biology, and sort of wrapping one type of material in another, well, we're kind of hoping to create the best of both worlds. So allow this more easily functionalization and manipulation of carbon nanotubes while preserving their desirable properties. Normally, I like to be pretty active in sports. I used to go to the gym and play tennis any chance I get. Sometimes I go snowboarding. More lately, that my life outside of work has been pretty simple because my wife and I recently had a baby girl. So pretty much 100% of our time outside of work and a lot of the time during work has been dedicated to her. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been exhausting, but we've definitely enjoyed it thoroughly. I probably would give the same advice that I got at a pretty important point in my career from a wise colleague, and I was trying to choose sort of what direction to go in scientifically. And so what I'd like to say is that when choosing kind of what lab to work in, what direction to go into scientifically, what university even to work with, always keep in mind that you probably want to be doing something that you really are excited about. There are a lot of different scientific directions one can go into. It's very difficult to predict a priori what's going to be hot in a couple of years. But it's very easy for you to tell what you're excited about. And because you're going to be spending a lot of time and a lot of energy working on the problem, you might as well really enjoy it. And that principle has really served me well throughout my career. And for that reason, I could really say right now that I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.